your question on what I can say to
young lawyers.
But just, a few more years of experience and a little more gray hair, I think I can venture to say a few things. The first, I think, is that you need great professionals, whether it's on the lawyering side of the profession or on the judging side of the profession, as we see it. You need top-flight professionals who would be lawyers. You would need top-flight lawyers who would become judges, because one side of the profession cannot exist without the other.
Correct.
One of the great problems which we are facing today is that lawyers are not accepting judgeship. And that is a cause for concern for the future. I don't think it's just a question of the fact that lawyers make much more money than judges who are dependent on their salary. There are many lawyers I know who are not just refusing judgeship for the lack of adequate emoluments, but the fact that we are now in an age where there's social media presence. Everything that a judge does is scrutinized. Judges are being trolled extensively in the media without perhaps many people understanding the true nature of the role of a judge. But having said that, I think particularly for the young lawyers, it's important to understand how fulfilling a life in public law and public service can be. So at least some young lawyers must set their sights on rendering service to the community by assuming institutional roles in the legal profession. At the same time, for those who wouldn't want to become judges, because judging is not an easy task. I began, our interview by telling you it's a hard grind. And judging is not just deciding these, big ticket cases which make the headlines, but a life of judging, a life spent in judging, 25 years for me, is judging these small cases involving individual citizens' grievances, whether it was an Order 37 summary suit, whether it was a petition in those days for winding up, small issues which went to court. And, it's the daily routine of being a judge which can sometimes be backbreaking. So someone who wants to be a judge must have clarity that, you find despite all these routine tasks of drudgery, something which is fulfilling and which is of being of benefit to society at large in rendering justice to people. For those lawyers who don't want to become judges, there's a great future ahead there as well. For those lawyers who don't want to join the legal profession in terms of being court-oriented lawyers, there's a great future in transactional lawyering. In fact, my very dear friend Zia Modi once mentioned to me that she said, the sharpening of her skills as a transactional lawyer, and now is the head of one of the best law firms in the country, was through the skills which she acquired in the daily forensic contest at the bar. So, whether you're in the transactional space, whether you're in the space of being a court-oriented practitioner, or whether one is really becoming a judge, whether of the district judiciary or of the high court, I think each element of the system has a very vital role to play. Final word to young lawyers, please read diversely, travel diversely. In a city